Today's dating market has been twisted to a point where people struggle to formulate meaningful and correct relationships. And the norms of society have changed, and we are brainwashed by society and social media in itself. And this thing is caused by a specific phenomenon called energy exchange. Is that both genders in every spectrum, they always believe that there is something that they need to sacrifice in order to be in relationships. And this is not an idea of themselves, because now people are not looking for connections. People are looking for transactions. And I'm going to start with the guys and explain how energy exchange has affected the dating market for men. Now, with the guys is that most men currently believe that they need to pour so much energy upon themselves and attain a certain type of lifestyle or aesthetic, or have specific titles in order to have access to women. And now the challenge that mentality presents is, now these guys do not realize that they are setting themselves up for failure. Because if you're only getting your material for gaining access to women, now the question is, what type of women are you getting access to? Because a lot of you do not necessarily realize that if you're only going to work towards your life to have female attention, it then represents a challenge, because most of the women that you're going to attract in your life, it happens to be women that are prostitutes, either directly or indirectly. It's not to say that none of you are gonna come across good women. You are likely going to come across good women, but now for the fact that now you have paid the price and you have the transaction, you have a plethora of women, and then the illusion of options comes in. And also this mentality comes to the ladies also, because illusion of options tells you that if you have 100 choices, you think you have options. Now we come back to the guys again about how the illusion of options plays into the exchange of energy. The illusion of options tells you that if you have 100 women that you are able to sleep with at any given time, you think you are the biggest dog in the zoo. And what that challenge represents is that most men do not realize that there's a difference between quantity and quality. Meaning that all these women that you are sleeping with, are these women, are they willing to be part of your life? Meaning that, are these women also trying to fill your cup? Are these women trying to build with you, or are they just trying to take? Because now you've played into the game of energy exchange. Now you know that you need to pour out material for you to have female attention. So a lot of men then walk into these traps and they fall for them. And now the saddest part is that some of you end up even giving some of these so-called prostitutes children, or women that are not there to help you with anything, women that are there to take from you. And then now what happens is, you walk through that door of energy exchange, you've paid the price, now you have the material, but none of these women like you for you. None of these women don't want to spend their life with you. And the only time they are willing to spend their lives with you is if they settle for the issue of financial provision. In the moment that financial provision disappears, there's no longer any love. And this is where the challenge comes in, that a lot of you do not realize. You perceive sexual attention as you being liked or being loved. But you forget to look at the character, the persona of this woman, and why she's in your life. What are her intentions? You are so focused on the exterior, you forget to look at the internal software of this woman. Now we move to the ladies on how energy exchange affects them also. Now, ladies in this current generation, they pour so much effort into their appearance. And they focus on aesthetics, they use the makeup, the hair, and all of these things. And this does not mean that if all women that are putting energy into their upkeep are not women that are working on themselves, but there is a general aspect to it that most of them, they will pour so much energy into their upkeep, how their body looks, how their hair looks, even getting their BBLs and whatnot. But now the challenge then comes in. The challenge then becomes one specific thing, that A lot of these women believe that, okay, if I'm pretty and I have pretty privilege, I have a certain access to certain types of men, and these men are going to provide a specific lifestyle for me, and these men are going to do certain things for me. But now the challenge comes to this, that in you investing in your looks and not also investing in your mindset, in your goals, and in your life, there's a challenge that comes in. Meaning that you will have access to rich men, but are these men willing to empower you? Are these men willing to change your life? Are these men willing to make you independent, as a lot of you perceive yourselves? Because the reality of the story is that this so-called lifestyle that most women are chasing after is just glorified alcoholism. Meaning that a lot of you, most of these men, the only things that they're willing to do for you is take you on trips, give you hair, and buy you lots of alcohol and give you a little bit of change. And now the trap becomes that you think that is a soft life, because that's what you call now living in my soft girl era, those whole types of things. But now the crisis then becomes this, that most of these men, they're not willing to stay, because they're like the first example of the guys, the energy exchange. They are paying the price to sleep with you, but they're not paying the price to be in your life. So they will pay the price to take you on vacations, do all these small things for you, and then sleep with you and then discard you. And then you have to repeat the cycle and go look for another man who's going to give you this imaginary money that you think you are deserving just because you've got a certain body or you look a certain way. And now time flies, because now the dating market of energy exchange is very ruthless. The older you get, you are not acceptable anymore. There's new players in the game every year. There's new players in the game every season. So these women are always interchanging with the next beautiful girl, the next girl with the biggest bum, and all these types of things. And it creates a crisis for women, because now they wake up, they are old, they have no sustainable relationships. Now they wake up, they have multiple baby daddies. There's a lot of various issues that comes with the energy exchange when it comes to women. And the question that women need to ask themselves is this: if you think your body makes you special, and if you think your looks make you special, are the type of men that you are attracting, are these types of men the men that are trying to build a life with you? There's a fundamental difference between a man who's going to give you a lifestyle and a man who's going to give you a life. And that's where you guys get it twisted. You think that these guys that do these social media instances where it's curatable for your pictures and videos, you think that is life. But unfortunately for a lot of you, you're going to wake up and you realize you wasted a lot of time, and none of these men did anything concrete for you. None of these men built you. None of these men created a business. You guys are sleeping with millionaires, but none of these millionaires are starting up businesses for you. None of these men are trying to empower you. Because it's the aspect of energy exchange. Because they can see that your exchange is your body and your looks. I will give you the resources, and after paying the price, I'll discard you and go find the next best girl. And it is a sad reality that a lot of women walk into, because they don't realize that energy exchange is very dangerous for both spectrums, for the males, because you wake up as a man, you've wasted so much money and you haven't built your life correctly. Now you lose everything. Now the female attention goes away. Now you've got depression and all these things. Now it's same with the ladies. You've played with your womb, you've played with your bodies. Now you've got multiple baby daddies. Now you've got drama in your life, but you didn't look for the quality of men. Because there's another thing that ladies need to understand, that the difference between you and the men about the issue of quantity and quality is that what type of quality of men are you attracting in your life? And what this means is this, in a nutshell, is that do you have men in your life who are just trying to give you money, or do you have men in your life that are trying to make you to become sustainable for yourself? These men are pouring into your life. They're trying to make you to become your own person, and so that you can have goals. Or do you have men that want you to be dependent on them, and when they've decided that they've done with you, you've got nothing to show for it? Because it makes no practical sense. You are talking all this life that no, we need rich men, we want rich men, but at the end of the day, none of you have nothing to show for it. All you have is it's old weaves and pictures of champagne that you pissed a long time ago and vacations. That's it. None of you have sustainable things that you can have in your lives, or men that are trying to build in your lives, or men that are trying to be fathers to your children. So the issue of energy exchange has made the dating market to be very toxic in this level, meaning that relationships are not working out for what it's supposed to be. People are not looking for connections. People are looking for people who are going to give them something. We want benefits. We don't want partners. We don't want relationships anymore. So energy exchange is very toxic in that sense. I hope this video was educational, and I hope that this becomes a wake-up call for a lot of you.